No idea. Yeah, I don't really care to do that at the moment. Bob's Baddies is currently in a game, but they just finished. Okay. I'm going to take us to the caster scene. I'll give us a countdown. Okay. You're getting it. Okay. You're totally good. I will go back to the intermission screen. Let's turn off studio mode. We're going 5, 4, 3, 2. Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shaki. I am joined in the casting booth by the one and only WM Gaming. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I had a little bit of work today, but I was amped up knowing that I was going to come home and watch these games.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. We got Bob's Baddies versus the Knockout Dragons. Gonna be a lot of fun here. I expect some very physical gameplay coming out of this match, but I think it can go either way.
Yeah, we've definitely seen both teams play very well in the past. Obviously, Bob's Baddies is now kind of known for going any role in the following games after the first game because they're looking to have a little fun. So it'd be interesting to see how the Dragons take on this particular challenge of a team that goes any role.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I kind of have a feeling who's going to be playing what for the Dragons, seeming as I am on a knockout team myself and know all of these players and their tendencies. So I expect to be seeing kind of the normal positions for these players here, but they've been playing together a lot, been playing pretty well. I think it could be fun to see some change up there from Bob's Baddies. That'd be a little interesting. See who gets what. Maybe see some crazy things. Maybe a little bit of Melanor Seeker or Beater. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun. Right now, we are going to be looking from the perspective on the first game. We're going to be looking through the lens of Bob's Baddies. Currently, we have Ilmage and Melanor sharing their screens that we can be watching, as well as Los Bobs. Originally on the first game will probably be Seeker, so we will have that Seeker cam as well for the first game.
Yeah, and I am looking from the perspective of the dragons to give y'all a little bit more insight on what's going on this side over here.
And it does look like they got the game first try, so we are going to start out from Ilmage's perspective.
All right, they did get it first time, so let's see what happens here.
Starting off on kickoff, looks like Melanor does get the initial win, kicking it right back to McJoseph, tossing it to Jim Tones, passing forward. Looks like they're going to be playing a little bit more conservative. Honestly, I'm not seeing as much aggression as we have seen in the past, but we do see a shovel pass to Melanor with a one-timer, putting the score currently 10-0, 6 minutes and 33 seconds left in the match.
Yeah, good early first goal, and I'm seeing a little bit of change up. I expected to see Count Tails on keeper here. He's actually playing Chaser, Time Bomb in at keeper for the Dragons. The snitch race is still pretty close itself. Also, Ilmage going to go with a reverse cam shot, does end up getting it to go in. That's going to be 20-0 in favor of Bob's Baddies right now. And Kiwi does get dropped by the keeper, but Jim Tones is at half health. Can the Dragons end his life for now to even the snitch race back up?
Yeah, I will note that especially early on, the eliminations don't necessarily have as much impact. Obviously, as the time goes on, that snitch meter fills exponentially. So thinking that you get a kill early on, it is not out of the race for Kiwi to get that particular snitch. And there we see Count-Tails on Chaser coming in with a score, putting the score 20-10, 5 minutes, 25 seconds left in the match.
Yeah, 10-point game, plenty of time left. Snitch race isn't too far gone. Looks like Bob's Baddies are about halfway to it, but there's still plenty of time for Kiwi to catch that back up. And as we see here, Melanor is going to be having the quaffle going upfield. Can she get a goal out of this? No, this is going to get stolen back from DC. Does get the pass back from Maddie, but it gets intercepted by Melanor. She gets the one-timer intercept, but that goal is not going to go in either way. It gets stopped and sent back downfield.
It is just changing hands rapidly, currently in the possession of Count-Tails, but kicked out by Jim Tones, pushing it right back out to midfield, where it is picked up by Death's Comrade and stolen right back by Melanor, followed by Fatimo Maddie, followed by Ilmage. This is just a back and forth. Neither team wants to let go of the Quaffle's possession. Especially 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the match. Currently, the snitch meter is sitting at about 90% for the side of Bob's Baddies and about 75 to 80% for the side of the Dragons.
Yeah, and Los Bobs was getting low there and does get hit again, getting super low, but Kiwi gets kicked here. Can she get out of this? It looks like she's going to make it out of there without getting kicked again, but Nemesis goes down. Los Bobs is one hit, though. One health is all needed to take him out and finish this snitch race. Kiwi gets a triple stun on her right there. Los Bobs is getting close to catching. Can she get up close enough to get a bump? It's going to be close. Coming around this curve here, that bludger comes in just in time to give Los Bobs the catch. That bludger was just excellent coming in there to stop the catch from coming through. Bad timing just for Kiwi. She had the full meter, and it's going to end up going 60-10 in the way of Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Honestly, going into friendly territory makes it a lot easier to catch the snitch, and going into enemy territory makes it almost impossible because you have so many threats to watch out for. Currently, it
Yeah.
is in possession of the Dragons. They are very close to their goals. Batty passing it back to Time Bomb, who's looking to kick it out to midfield.
Yeah, and does end up getting it to Mo Matty. And Count-Tails is going to get the pass upfield. Can he get the goal in? No. Jim Tones comes out and kicks the quaffle before it reaches his hand. So we are going to see that going back downfield. Nick Joseph has the quaffle. He's heading towards the goal. Can he take the solo? No. Time Bomb able to stop it and try and get it back upfield. Coming back the way of Fatty Mo Matty. He's moving around looking for a pass. Does get the pass off. Setting up, but it is stolen right back by Ilmage, back and forth again.
Yeah, both teams are being very aggressive in terms of quaffle control. And there we see Ilmage setting up with a one-timer from a shovel pass, putting the score 70-10, 2 minutes and 7 seconds left. Jim Tones, being the keeper that he is, flies out to midfield, unfortunately, a little too long and falls, but that is going to be a quick reset.
Yeah, but ends up spawning back in just in time to stop that long range one timer from going into the net. This snitch race getting to about halfway again, but it's close. It's tied up at about 50-50 with a minute 40 left to go. Those snitch meters are going to start filling up really fast. Ilmage with the drift shot to the far ring does end up getting it on Time Bomb. That's going to be a 70-point lead coming out for Bob's Baddies going into the last minute and a half of this match.
Yeah, Lowe's Bob's sitting currently at 1 HP. That regen is starting, but he does get hit, putting him right back down to 1 HP, setting that reset timer. Currently, they are now 90-10, 1 minute 4 seconds left in the match. Snitch Race is currently sitting at about 85 to 90% for the side of the Dragons, and about 75 to 80% for the side of Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, and sad to say, there's just not enough time left for the Dragons here. Bob's Baddies have secured this. They have plenty of inserts. Even if Kiwi catches this snitch, it's not going to be enough. They just don't have enough time in game to get enough goals here. But they are starting to bring some control back in as we see Kiwi gets dropped there. Los Bobs is gonna have free reign to try and get this snitch for about the next 7 seconds, unless he gets stopped. There is gonna be some stuns coming out, but 20 seconds left, full meter, and it's about to be closed. And there it is. Los Bobs catches the snitch for the 120-20 game number one, going in favor of Bob's Baddies.
And there we see Lowe's Bob's currently sitting as the MVP for the team, using both the new Denim Duelist as well as a new highlight intro that we saw in the most recent update to Quidditch Champions.
Yeah, and I don't know about y'all, but some of those intros and some of those celebrations and goal explosions, man, I've really been enjoying them. They're a good time. I got myself the little dragon that goes in your hand and breathes fire. I think it's amazing. It's a good one. There's a Niffler one too for everybody out there. You know, you got to get your Nifflers. So it's a lot of fun. The cosmetics that have come out are just there's a lot of them. I went through and spent about 150,000 gold, and I still haven't even gotten everything. So just got to go through and keep collecting. But yeah, everybody, if you haven't been on, get on the game, get in there, get all the new stuff in the market. Look at the new level system up to level 300. You have new rewards in there now. There is so many different things to check out in game. But enough about that. What did you think about game number one there, Shogi?
Honestly, it was exciting, exactly like I thought it was going to be. We saw a lot of different possessions. We saw a lot of quaffle steals. We saw a lot of aggression from both of these teams coming out. Obviously, Bob's Baddies taking the win in game one. But as always, with Bob's Baddies going into game two, typically they choose any role. So this could be the time where the Dragons take that momentum swing and take this to a game three.
Yeah, that could be kind of fun to see. I'm interested to see what ends up happening there. I'm also interested to see if the dragons end up changing any rules here, or if they all decide to stick to theirs. Let me see here. It looks like I lost a stream, So give me a moment. There we go. Yeah, it looks like I'm probably going to be getting a new player here. Yeah, it looks like we have Dementor coming in on the side of the Dragons for game number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. We are going to be switching perspectives for game 2. We are going to be taking a look at the side of the Dragons. We do have a lot of different streams that we could take a look at, coming from Counttails, uh, Death's Comrade, as well as, good lord, Nemesis, Static Kiwi, and Dementor as well.
Yeah, and I will say for Count-Tails POV, you are going to burn your retinas, so be a little careful with that one.
Yes.
But it is yeah, this is the crew it looks like right here for now. So we will see who ends up playing what. I expect to see Kiwi on Seeker again. I don't know who's. I'm expecting to see Nemesis on Beater. Count Tails probably as Chaser still, and with Dementor and DC at his side, and then we're gonna have Time Bomb. I'm guessing in at Keeper again, but we will find out here very shortly what's going to be going on.
Absolutely. And we are just going to go to a brief intermission screen while these teams get set up, and we will be right back for game number 2. And we are on the standby. I cannot see why. I turned off like another audio source, so maybe let's go to my advanced audio properties. We'll see.
Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron.
And we are back. We are going to be starting off from the perspective of Death's comrade on the side of the Knockout Dragons.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing an early kickoff going the way of the Dragons. Dementor carrying it upfield. Is he going to be able to get the goal? He does. Top ring opens up the scoring first for the Dragons this time, but how quick can Bob's Baddies answer back? And they do answer with a quick early kill on Kiwi and a hero kick on the beater who's getting stun locked back in their end. Ilmage can be carrying it upfield, trying to get the goal. It's still in the hands, but gets taken away by Time Bomb.
Currently in the hands of Dementor. He currently has two opponents flying near, but with a teammate nearby, he does have the options to go for those goals. But we do see Bob's with the save. Snitch Race is currently sitting at about 20% to about 5% for the side leading towards the Dragons.
Yeah, and you saw a cheeky little ring sitting there from Bob's Baddies. Katie Talks was sitting in that ring holding the one timer, stopped that goal from Count-Tails there after he got past the keeper. But they are carrying it back downfield, and Los Bobs is down right now, so that's going to be an easy goal for Count-Tails coming out, opening up that scoring a little bit more, 20-0. But the Snitch Race is brutally far ahead for Bob's Baddies right now. They're about a little over half, while the Dragons are going to be underneath half, just about at 15% here. Can they do anything? They need at least some snitch insurance or another, or to get some kills onto the Seeker here.
Yeah, it looks like the beater for the side of Bob's Baddies is doing a very good job relieving pressure on Melanor, allowing her to just continue to go after the snitch while putting pressure on Kiwi. Kiwi has dropped twice already, unfortunately. With 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in the match, currently the score sits at 30-0, with the snitch race getting close to that 80%. And there we see Ilmage from Bob's Baddies putting in the first goal for their team, now putting the score 30-10, 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the match.
Yeah, and Kiwi got killed by a bump. So it's going to be even harder. She was bringing it back, getting it closer, but she went down there again. She is back up. She is back on path and does get a little bit of a bump there. Going to be staying in the path of the snitch here, going around the dangerous end. Can she avoid the kick? She does avoid the kick. Snitch Race getting really close. She gets another bump, but a bludger comes in, not able to get the dodge off, and she's going to be really low on health again. Needs to catch up, get some bumps here, keep that snitch from going the way of Bob's Baddies. But yet again, she's being held low. What's going to happen here?
Yeah, it looks like Lowe's Bob's on keeper did go down. Unfortunately, the Dragons not able to capitalize with an easy goal to give them the snitch insurance in case they don't catch it, especially with the snitch race currently sitting at about 95 to 99% for the side of Bob's Baddies. And there we see the goal coming from Melanor, putting now the score to 30-40, leading for Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, and that was a snitch catch for Melanor. I didn't see her really scoring the quaffle, but hey, that would be a weird thing for a seeker to do, right? It could be kind of cool to see. But Melanor going to get hit early here by Nemesis. Gonna be able to escape that second tackle, though, just at about half health. Who is going to take this first quaffle goal of second snitch time? We will find out here shortly, as it is in the hands of Count Tails here. Can he get the goal? No, it's gonna get kicked away, and that is loose on the end of Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, we see Death's comrade going for a little more disruption on the beater McJoseph, just trying to make sure that he doesn't get that opportunity to tackle Kiwi or throw bludgers, just because every time he gets hit, it resets that cooldown.
Yeah, and that is a crucial role sometimes getting that midfield disruption. As I say that though, Ilmage gonna get another goal going the way of Bob's Baddies. It's gonna be 50-30. It's a pretty close match still here right now. Melanor gonna take a hit from a stolen bludger too, gonna be at about half health, but Nemesis not able to get the finishing tackle. Melanor gets right around it. He does have a bludger back again though. Can they finish off Melanor here? Give Kiwi a little bit of a lead early? No, it's not going to happen, and she's going to be able to get away as we see everybody seems to be swarming the Seekers right now.
Yeah, especially with a minute and 48 seconds left in the match, that snitch meter is going to be filling incredibly fast. So that is a swing for both teams. That could either put a team completely out of the running or put it back into a neutral position, letting the game go into overtime. Especially now with a minute 30 seconds left in the match, 30-60, currently leading Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, and now the Dragons really need this snitch catch. If they don't get it, it's gonna be really hard. They've got to get on that quaffle game really quick if they're not gonna catch a snitch here. Melanor is getting super low though. A bump may be able to get the finish here. She is one hit. The tackle misses slightly and it's not going to come through, but there was the dodge come out. The bludger gets launched and it does get the kill. So Kiwi's going to have about 10 seconds here without having to worry about some bumps hitting to be able to get some of that meter back. That race is getting really close. Can they get a quaffle goal to go in, or are Bob's Baddies going to get the snitch insurance as Kiwi gets bludgered into the stun for the Los Bob's kick and she goes down again? Snitch insurance already up on the board. This one, barring a miracle, is going to be really hard to come back from.
Yeah, currently 20 seconds left in the possession of Bob's Baddies, and their snitch meter is currently at about 85 to 90%. But there is a tackle that comes out and knocks them right back down to about 80% rather than the 85 that we saw previously. The clock winding down, we see Kiwi drop, unfortunately, with these last seconds. It looks like that is going to be a game number 2 for Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, and those keeper kicks from Los Bob are really what cemented those two games there. I mean, Los Bob's just getting kicks on the quaffle when it was loose, getting that big hero AoE effect out was really stunting the games for the Dragons. They needed to either pass and catch the pass before they went in range of him or avoid him a lot more with some shuffle passes, things like that. Those kicks coming in on the Seeker and the Chasers were just brutal and detrimental to the gameplay. But we did see good gameplay out of both sides. It just seems like Bob's Baddies was the more consistent team here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely looked like both teams were very aggressive in terms of quaffle control, but it looks like the side of Bob's Baddies, their Seeker was able to play a little bit more conservative while gaining that meter in both games. The first game being Los Bobs as the Seeker, the second game being Melanor, and we saw those snitch catches come out both times in both games go to the side of Bob's Baddies.
Yeah, and it was just it was a hard fought match, and I know Kiwi as she is the seeker for the Nifflers, so I know she's a really really good seeker. But there's almost nothing you can do when you're just getting hit nonstop. Those stuns are just brutal, and you get them one after the other. They shut her down really well, which I think they needed to do. They focused heavily on her. I think that was probably part of their game plan because if you don't, she will catch snitches. So they did really well to shut her down, and I think that's what won them these matches.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to be moving into post-game interviews. We're going to start with the side of Bob's Baddies. I believe we're going to be interviewing Los Bobs as well as Ilmage or Jimothy Tones. We'll see which one we will be getting, and we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently sitting with Los Bobs and Ilmage of Bob's Baddies coming off of a 2-0 victory against the Knockout Dragons. How are you both feeling after that game?
We're feeling a little shaky going into game 2, seeing our all-any lineup. It really stirred things up in a way we have not really played before, and especially I got thrown on keeper, and I've dabbled with some keeper. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I'm certainly not the worst either, you know. And I'd like to say that I did pretty good on keeper myself. Mel did a great job on seeker, and then everyone was just doing what they needed to, and we ended up pulling out the dub.
I have to agree. Is we always got to mix it up, make sure the other team isn't ready for what we have coming at them, and lucky it worked out. Everyone locked in a little bit, and it was a little closer than the first game, but we got it working.
Yeah, I was gonna say after we saw game 1 where the Quaffle was exchanging hands back and forth over and over and over again. Ilmage as a main chaser in the lineup in that roster, especially in both games. What was like going through your mind when you saw that Quaffle changing possessions so many times?
I don't know. It's a little jarring on both sides for us or them, but yeah, the ball's just gonna move around. You just gotta follow it best you can. And luckily in the first game, I had a couple scores, and then the second one a little bit less. But yeah, it's the ball's always moving around, whether it's our team or the other team, and that's the key to success, I think.
And to add on to that, I would say that we have a fairly strong chaser core that can rotate positionally pretty well, and we, as whatever it is, we can usually maintain possession like you saw in the first game when we're kind of in our main chaser core. When it gets scrambled, we see a little bit less of that, but we've got a good chemistry going, so we trust each other too.
That's always good to hear from a team. But I do have a question for you. Why do you like kicking everybody in the face so much, Los Bobs?
A keeper's got to do what a keeper's got to do. I mean, It's nothing unique to me. I certainly miss more kicks than other keepers, but like I said, I'm pretty pleased with my keeper performance in that game. I got kicks when I felt like I needed to, and it helped contribute to winning snitch.
Yeah, y'all chain stunned multiple times between a kick, tackle, and then a kick before Kiwi could even get unstunned and get out of range of that. So I noticed that happened at least, I believe, three of those kills was chain stuns on the Seeker where they just couldn't escape and those kicks came through. So that was really, really well played there. Ilmage, question for you. How did you feel about the Chaser gameplay from game one compared to game two? Because it seems like game number two, y'all weren't able to do as much offensively with the Chaser game as you were in game number one.
Yeah, definitely in the second game when we mixed it up a little bit and it ended up being KD and Jimothy, but yeah, we definitely struggled a little bit. I should have been a little bit more aggressive. They saved a lot more goals that time as well. First game it was just kind of everything was working, but on the second one, he was a bit more of a wall on that one for sure. So luckily we were able to pull it out. We got a lot of kills on the Seeker with Bobs and our beater, and yeah, we got the W.
Now, coming off of almost back-to-back victories, especially after the first few games that you guys had, how are you guys feeling moving into the later stages of MSA's tournament?
I think we've always known we were a strong contender, even if we were here to just kind of have fun. We've got a lot of combined hours on our team, even if it's not playing solely as a team. We just have a lot of hours on our team, and we know the game. We've played the game, and like I said, our goal was always to claw back. We kind of knew game one, cold start as a team going against Crazy Comms, was going to be a rough matchup, so we expected to be in the losers bracket. But like I've said since that very first week, Shocky, we were going to claw our way to the championship again, and we still intend to do so.
Yeah, I think just to double down on that, I think everyone at this point going forward needs to be scared of us. Like we've come in and we keep 2-0 and we hit them we lock in a little bit in the first game, and then we mix it up. And no matter what rolls we're getting, we're still putting it down. So, everyone's got to have a little fear in their hearts of the baddies at this point.
But what happens? Say you come out next week, you win game number one, you choose random rules game number two, and then you just get smacked. Does that put a little bit of fear back in you and make you question a little bit? Maybe we shouldn't be doing that going later on in the tournament. Maybe we should be sticking with our roles as the competition is only going to get more and more difficult and there is more and more at stake.
Hey, that's what game three's for. If we win game one, we're always going to go all in game two. It's our staple. It has become a staple. And, who doesn't want to see an exciting 3-game set? Let's have some fun. Yeah. Let's make it a good series, and let's put on a show.
But will you queue any role for game three?
No, we'll probably lock in for game three.
Come on, I thought you wanted to put on a show.
We got to put on a show. We got to make it interesting. Are we going to be able to maintain our momentum from game one, or is our all any going to throw off our momentum in game three? There's some. If it doesn't always benefit us to go all any, it can always refresh the mind though too. So it's good it helps not only keep us sharp, but it can also throw off the other team because you're going to see different play style if all any chooses us differently. So.
Yeah, I will say I think it'll mix it up for sure, and I think no matter what, we're gonna have the good vibes. We always have good vibes here on the Baddies, and yeah, it's great. So even if we're feeling a little rusty after the second game, we're gonna come back in game three, keep the good comms, good vibes, and we'll keep it flowing.
Hey, to answer Lasir's question in the chat, the answer is yes. We did it the first game against y'all. We'll do it again. We're here to have fun. We'll keep the vibes up game two, even if we're losing.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for coming to this post-match interview. I don't have Ozgoz with me today, and he normally does the final question, but I will do my best approximation. Is there anything that you would like to say to your teammates, to your competitors, to the people watching right now? Any final thoughts you would like to put out into the universe?
Ilmage, you can go first if you'd like.
Yeah, as always, shout out to all the baddies. You know, love for everybody on the team. It's just coming here and joining and having a good time. Just it's the bright part of the day most of the time. It's great. And shout out to the other team. It was super fun games. It's always good having competitors out there who are pushing you to your limits. And yeah, it was fun. So I appreciate it.
Knockout Dragons, it was a very fun match. We very much so respect you, just as we do with all of our other teams. It was always fun. And this isn't a shade comment, but you know, I would just love to know who we'd be playing next. You know, just if there was like a bracket or something that was updated. No shade, all love.
Hey, you know, I believe we can get a bracket update coming from our wonderful host, Western Universe, and hopefully that will be posted somewhere.
Hey, all love to Western. He really does. He has been running this well with the kinks that he's been thrown, so I don't blame him.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. We are going to be moving to an intermission screen while we get some members of the Knockout Dragons to get a post-game interview with them. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping in, and we shall be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently in the interview room with none other than the Knockout Dragons Nemesis Naga. Nemesis, how are you feeling after those games?
Feeling pretty good. The team is no slouches. They got knocked out by Crazy Calm, so that says a lot. So they played well, and I think we did a good job too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all did play really well. It was some close matches. The score in the first game might not have looked so close, but it
Hmm.
definitely was. They were both really close matches.
Definitely, definitely. I would say so. I think more so the first match. I ran a different broom than I usually do. I ran the turbo. I've been messing around with the turbo since it came out, and I really liked it because of all around just a good broom. It feels good. I ignored the stun lock, so I got stunned a lot that first game, and I also ignored the new meta with the new chasers. The new chasers, they don't hurt as much, they don't hit as hard, so they're easily dogpiling you for the beater to pick you up. So that's what I observed on the first match. The second match, I pretty much walked into it with my regular build, and I fared a lot better. Watched out for the seekers. So just a tip to all the people that are out, not seekers, chasers. I'm sorry. Just watch out for the chasers. Just for all the people out there who are running beater, just watch out for the new meta. You will get dogpiled. Just watch out for all the chasers in the positioning, which is definitely gonna, you know, put a little more strain on you, but you can handle it. Watch your arrows. Maneuverability is always key, and just work into it that way. But that first game doesn't really say what really was going on. I think they kind of had to adjust a lot to kind of pull that through to get both snitch catches along with the chaser deficit, but they did pretty well. I can't complain.
yeah. I mean, just looking at the first game, there was a lot of steals, a lot of like the quaffle changing hands.
Yeah.
Um, what was the idea behind trying to like maintain that super chaser pressure, kind of early to the mid game in game one?
Well, what we tried to do was adjust and kind of figure out what's going on. We know Ilmage. Ilmage, I would say, is like one of the top chasers in the game. That's my words, no one else's. That's just my opinion. I think he's really, really good. So whenever I see Ilmage, I know he's going to tackle back. I know he's going to play the midfield game, and I know he's going to do his thing. So we kind of tried to compensate for that by running a different strat, but we just could not get out of that midfield as effectively as we wanted to, and that definitely did hurt us a lot. So moving forward, we're definitely going to adjust our chaser game to look out for those people who like to tackle back, like your skinny boy HPs, your Ilmages, a lot more. That's all I can think off the top of my head, but just that's our new strategy moving forward. Just watch that midfield game, watch that pressure with the new chaser meta. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of things are changing. So we're definitely going to adjust a lot of things.
Yeah, and what were kind of the comms going like in the Dragons over there for game one and game two? What was kind of going on when y'all noticed they were really focusing heavy on stun locking one specific person and then taking them down? It seems like they would rotate between taking you out and taking Kiwi out. What were y'all's kind of comms going like? What were y'all kind of trying to adjust to and figure out? And I noticed like game one, the Quaffle game was a little more heavy on their side. Game number two, it was a lot more even. So what did y'all kind of notice in game one and we're talking about where you were able to change it up in game two?
Well, to reiterate my previous point, with the new chaser meta, a lot of times I think it's easier for the beater to get away with a lot less, if that makes sense. So, for example, in the previous game, I could take out a beater here and there, and make a deep impact in the game because usually one chase would be allocated to you and the rest of you playing Quaffle, you kind of make do what you can. But with the new meta moving forward that I foresee is just that all the chaser would take turns just dogpiling and stunning, and then the beater would just pick you up. Our comms were more so just trying to communicate and how we can help out Kiwi. I was pretty much just in my own head, like I can handle myself. Let's secure that snitch. So I tried to allocate as much help as I could to make sure Kiwi could stay alive as long as she could. But that first game was more seeker heavy. Obviously, they had more control of the Quaffle in the chaser game, so they helped them out a tremendous amount. But I would say it was a lot more heavy on the seeker that really pulled them out. They knew what to do. Like I said, Melanor, Ilmage, the whole chaser lineup are no slouches. I expect nothing less. So that's pretty much what our comms were, just trying to allocate help between Kiwi and also trying to balance the chaser game and helping Kiwi and myself.
Yeah. You know, honestly, you guys played very, very well, especially going up against a team like Bob's Baddies.
Hmm.
Is there any other strategy or any other idea that you're going to be taking forward into your games going into the future? Obviously, you guys have been knocked out of the MSA tournament, but
Hmm.
there is
Hmm.
always additional seasons, always additional competitive leagues as well. What
Hmm.
takeaways are you pulling from these series of games?
Um, a lot, honestly, but I keep on reiterating the same point. Just watch out for those chasers, man. They will dogpile. So make sure you're watching your arrows, looking around, staying swifty, staying as maneuverable as you can to make sure you don't get stun locked. Make sure you select the right broom. For me personally, I'm gonna focus more just on my overall awareness. Like I said, the previous game before the update was a lot more just okay, beater, seeker, chaser, that's a problem. Go for fumbles, but we always had kind of like a priority. You will go after the seeker, then the beater, and then go down that route. But now you really have to pay attention to everything. Even we have the new emergence of free flight keepers. They're popping up more and more every day. So you got to watch out for those keepers who will sacrifice their own self to kind of get that hero off, walk to the middle of the pitch, and just do their thing. So that's another thing we got to adjust to. It just make sure we pay attention to everything that's going on, call it out, and communicate better. Um, for me, like I said, I'm just trying to work on being more maneuverable, trying to be more swift, and make sure I can make sure my bludgers land, tackles land, and just getting better.
Totally understandable. Well, Nemesis, I want to appreciate you and I want to thank you so much for coming into this post game interview. Um, you guys
No
played a
problem.
hell
Happy
of
to
a
be here.
game, and I got to thank you so much for coming in. Uh, for all those watching at home, that is going to be the end of tonight's broadcast in particular. We are going to be showing a little bit more appreciation or showing a little love to maybe some people who aren't necessarily a part of our community, but we do want to spread the love as far as Quidditch is concerned. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be raiding another channel other than Flyrish. So if you give us just a moment and stick around for that raid. Thank you so
Have a
much.
good night, everybody.
Y'all have a good night.
Peace out. Have a good one.